I am Alex Spires, and I am a gonzo journalist, but I am going to be speaking in my capacity as an art critic. Even my own harshest critics cannot deny me that talent. On Friday, the 14th of October 2022, a pair claiming to be anti-oil activists spreading the message that oil is bad did not steal a gas truck or blow up an oil refinery. Instead, they threw soup at the glass covering one of Van Gogh's 11 finished sunflower paintings, this one at the National Gallery in London. Their action did not affect the artwork at all, but only damaged the frame that Van Gogh himself would have seen as gaudy, overdone, and distracting from the finished work, and who would have preferred a limited and tight frame that would showcase the work without adding to it or obscuring it. These supposed anti-art and anti-oil activists don't interfere with modern movie production or current productions of art at all, or digital studios that use lots of energy, or the distribution and use of art supplies. They threaten, damage, and destroy artwork that is over 100 years old. This piece by Van Gogh was part of his series of 7 Arlesian sunflower paintings, which are considered to have more character than his 4 earlier Parisian sunflowers. The phony baloney activists are really only a troupe of performance artists who want to gain fame and a name by associating themselves to more important and more valuable works of art than any they apparently feel they could ever produce. U.S. financiers of the troupe promise that this pointless event is just a preview of more live productions of this same sort due to premiere in the weeks ahead. Van Gogh himself was often struggling and undernourished and truly lived only for his art. Utterly unaware of the artist's life and struggles, one of the performers then broke from Harpo-like mime and became a vocal comedian, and made a ridiculous statement after she had glued her hands to the wall under the painting made by a starving man, about which she obviously knew nothing, unless her supposedly noble action was just a comic performance, which I am positive it was. And she asked, which is more important, art or life? Remember that first episode of Black Mirror with the Prime Minister having to engage in copulation with a pig? Same thing. Which is more important, art or life, she asked. Van Gogh would say art. Is art worth more than food? The see-through performer asked. Van Gogh, one of the first, if not the first starving artist, would have said yes. Worth more than justice? The comedian went on. Van Gogh would say yes. Then she asked, are you more concerned with the protection of a painting or the protection of our people on the planet? Van Gogh would say, who is our people? Surely, since you are specifying only your type of person and not all people, the protection of a painting is far more valuable. Once life is lived, meaning to that life is the only reason for it, so art, which gives meaning to life, is more valuable than life itself. The cost of living is part of the fuel crisis, the jokester went on. Van Gogh would say, I know, I lived in the Boraine for several years working with coal miners who themselves could not afford to buy coal to heat their homes, and would have to recover coal dust left over from sorting, or stolen from the mine, to be able to survive through the harsh winters. I went into the mines with them and dug through heaps of waste rock with them. My paintings and drawings exposed their struggle to the world. I gave the bed from beneath me and the clothes off my back to help those people all that I could. I am fully aware of the issues, and I stand by you in bringing those issues to light and exposing the world to them. Fuel, the performer continued, is unaffordable to millions of hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup. Van Gogh would say, you do not need to heat soup to eat it, but if you intend to eat it, you need to have it. If you throw it away in a comedy food fight instead of giving it to a hungry person, you only show off how well-fed you are and how far you are from understanding that there is struggle to survive, and how confused you are by your own sense of reason. You do not demonstrate anything about how much you care for or want to help those hungry people. Jewel Kilcher, in her song I'm Sensitive, suggested, I was thinking that it might do some good if we robbed the Senate and took all their food. What if these supposed activists acted like activists instead of actors and, robbed Parliament and took all their fuel, and then Robin Hooded it to the needy to whom they refer? What if 500 brave souls went out in the cold and glued their hands to fuel pumps? Wouldn't that require immediate action and a definite change of course? Wouldn't that be activism that would make the point come across loud and clear to those in power? These people are not activists working to be understood and to clearly advance the cause of stopping oil. They are performance artists seeking fame for being associated with famous artworks. I will not show their pictures, and I will not say their names, and I will not say the name of their performance art troupe. One moment, I actually have a thing here. One of the people who run their troupe made a statement that pretty clearly underlines everything that I've already said. Hello, phone. Yeah, these things rock. Activists throw soup. Activists my ass. Activists demanding the government. A spokesperson for their troupe tells the New York Times that the group intended to generate publicity and spark debate. They selected sunflowers because they knew it was protected by glass and wouldn't be damaged by soup. Another spokesperson for the group said that the choice to throw soup represents how people are going to have to choose between heating and eating this winter. And that can so easily be avoided by switching to renewable energies. Yes, and feeding people instead of throwing away soup. You know, we'll do something about that. I will not show their pictures, and I will not say their names, and I will not say the name of their performance art troupe. I will say that these performance artists are funded by the U.S. charity, the Climate Emergency Fund, and that giving money to that charity bankrolls their productions. If you want to further that troupe's capacity to put on shows like this, give those guys money, and they will send people to deface, damage, and destroy more important art, rather than forming lobby groups to push politicians to act or feeding anybody. They consider their ridiculous productions to be nonviolent, but of course inducing trauma is violence, and traumatized people are not going to listen to reason. People who need to find alternative resources once their fuel is gone are going to reason their way toward getting the cheapest and most useful forms of energy they can get their hands on. These people are not activists, they are crap artists producing crap art intended only to upset and confuse their audience so that their names become associated to those famous artwork. They have a crap story and a crap claim about their crap intentions about why they want to be seen appearing near and associating themselves to famous art. They want their lives to be seen as meaningful so that they can be immortalized. Nothing more. They are just performance artists. Throw oil on a politician. Give soup to a hungry person. Leave Vincent alone. Van Gogh's last words now echo in my mind. I cannot endure it. The sadness will last forever.